Peace, peace, peace. What's good, everybody? Hope everybody's doing well. I'm doing well. Another day, another dollar. Not really, but another. It's an old saying, you know what I mean? But yeah, real always recognized. That's what I just wanted to talk about. You know, in this world today, and it always was like this. It's just that a lot of us is operating out of in a conscious state now. You know what I mean? And the real ones always recognize the foolishness, recognize the fake stuff, all that kind of stuff. We always recognize it first, or we recognize it and don't even let on that we recognize it. You know what I'm saying? That's one of the indications that you're a real one. Not that fake real one stuff. You know what I mean, and all that. I'm talking about the real ones. You know what I mean? That just experiencing a lot of static. But we used to the static. You know what I mean? It come with being, who and what you are. You know what I'm saying? Not to say that anybody is good, but the people know who they are. And a lot of us is experiencing the same type of things. You know what I'm saying? Myself included. So I advise myself, and anybody who want to listen, stay sharp. Stay sharp. But you gotta stay calm. You definitely gotta stay calm in this environment now. Because most of us we have targets. We have targets on our back. So we gotta understand that and recognize that, and navigate, in this reality accordingly. You know what I mean? You can't be out here thinking that people want to be your friend all the time. People do be wanting to be your friend. That's true. But at the same time, you got to understand there's a lot of people operating as energy vampires, and they don't even know that they're energy vampires. They don't even know it. And for a long time, I didn't believe that people didn't know what they was doing. But when you've been around for a little while, you start seeing things, a little differently. You grow up. You grow up in your consciousness. You know what I mean? And you do see that it is a few of these energy vampire types. They don't really know what they're doing. They just pursue things or pursue people in a certain way, and they don't really understand why it is that they're doing these things, but they doing them. So I advise myself, and I advise anybody who want to listen, be mindful of that, because we in a high energy type of time zone right now, and people are definitely going after it. You know what I mean? Meaning the energy, and they know a lot of good things is on the way for certain people due to, the circle of things, what has gone around, what goes around comes around. So, the same way that karma come around on the evil tip, for people receiving what they deserve for the evil that they've done, it's certain people out here that's in line for some good things to go down in their life. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of the energy vampires in our lives, they know this. And it's like, the more you get into the spiritual nature of what this life really is, and you know that a lot of us know subconsciously a lot of things that we don't even know where it come from. We just can tell what's going to happen, or we could just tell what's going on with people and ourselves. And it's like you can't you can't turn it around. You can't make people go the right way or stop being the way they being. So you really just gotta fortify yourself and make sure you always doing the right things and have the correct intent. With what you doing and what you trying to do with yourself, and you ain't trying to use nobody, in the wrong way. All that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? It's an ongoing thing. It's a day-to-day process, and that's really how we should be functioning. But being aware and alert, that's top. That gets top bill. Like you have to be aware and alert now. Because on and on and on, if we look back over our lives, or how many different things that we was trying to accomplish, or in our lives, and then all of a sudden, we get with the wrong people, or you make one wrong move, and then mess up your whole, mess up your whole thing. So I just advise myself and anybody want to listen, be alert. Stay sharp. It may even be best to recluse yourself to a certain degree. Step back. And be a conscious, maybe a conscious observer of what's going on in your family circle, in your so-called friend circle. Step back, observe. You don't have to be in the middle of everything all the time. The old rules, they don't apply no more. You know what I'm saying? And the people that know what I'm talking about know what I'm talking about. Like, if you've been crossed up by your family and your friends, nah, it's cool. Yeah, forgive. You have to forgive because that's for your own well-being. You know what I mean? So you ain't carrying around a bunch of bad energy, about stuff that went on in the past. But at the same time, don't forget. You know what I mean? Some of the things that went down in our lives, you can't go back to people. You can't mess with them like that. And that's cool. But that don't mean you can't. You don't forgive them. Forgive them. If not only for first of all, forgive them for your benefit, for you. Do it for you. And a lot of these negative entities, energies, people, they sort of look at certain individuals as being stupid and foolish because they know they in their way of thinking they look at merciful people as chumps, as fools, basically, as opposed to them being what they really are, which are the strongest people that's walking. You know what I'm saying? But this is the mindset of these energy vampires, these oppressive people. Just all this is their mindset. And I remember one time I was talking on one of my videos, and I was talking about. And matter of fact, I didn't even post that particular video because I got a little emotional in that particular video. So I think I decided at the end of the day, I was like, no, I ain't gonna post this because I was talking, But I did say that, one thing I learned in the past that, when people doing wrong things, basically the sin routine, because I come from a religious background. People that commit a lot of sins, those sins and those evil deeds and stuff, they make you foolish. They make you very foolish. These people, the more the more sins and stuff you get into, just to use the word for lack of a better one, the more dumb stuff you get into in your life, and the more you vibing on a low frequency, that messes with your intellect. Your intellect go down and down and down. The more you indulge in doing, certain kind of things. It's just like haters. A hater, it'd be like something they don't even. It should be something, some type of kill switch inside of a person to stop them from hating or being jealous or something. But these haters and these jealous-minded people and these people that just be on that kind of stuff, they don't stop themselves, and they don't even realize that the more they be like that, it's like the stupider they become on all types of different things. Not just that, it'd be like they'll get stupid about other stuff. And just anybody who listens, take heed to that. Even for people that, like all of us, we struggle in between with certain stuff, you know what I mean, on the path. But meaning we all do stuff that may not necessarily be right, you know what I mean? But if you're working on yourself, you checking yourself, you weeding out some of that stuff that you know yourself, you know what you should be getting away from. You know what I'm saying? But if you look back on your own personal life and you see like, damn, when I was drinking too much or smoking too much or whatever, running around, being on negativity or whatever, it seemed like my intellect was on a lower level than it was when I was like very disciplined and living clean and stuff like that. But all of these things is basic things. This is very basic. Hit that like button for me, y'all. If y'all in here and you're watching, hit that like button for me. I appreciate it. But yeah, that's a part of life that you need to take heed to, myself included. Because I know the more I stay away from things that I know is really like wrong, the stronger I am, and the stronger my intellect is. It becomes easier for me to figure things out. It's easier for me to accomplish things. Like whatever it is that I'm trying to accomplish or do. You know what I mean? It becomes easier. Whereas though that bad energy from doing bad things, it makes you tired. You just don't have the same zeal. You know what I'm saying? To do what you need to do. That's just word for the wise ones. The ones that got wisdom, the ones that desire, to vibrate high and to do it continuously. Every day, I motivate myself. I self-motivate too. You know what I mean? For the people that's like job chosen, you got to be self-motivated. Because if you don't, you ain't going to be motivated. Because most of the people in our lives, they want to see us down. It's not a negative way of looking at things, it's just what it is. A lot of time when you exuding certain types of light, you're going to attract a lot of flies. You know what I mean? And it's just what it is. And you're going to attract some good people too. But good people to bad people out here is like 100 to 1. So you may run across 100 different people before you run across one that's worth anything. So you just have to keep in mind of that. And really the best thing to do until you get with a person, another, like maybe you get married or something, or you just come into contact with somebody that's vibing on your level, or a group or something, or people that's collectively pretty much on the same level, then you need to stay by it. You need to mostly be to yourself. You know what I'm saying? Controlling your reality and, like the energy in your house where you live. You know what I mean? A lot of us have to go out and deal with people because we got to work or all different stuff. So that kind of thing is unavoidable. But, but it's ways that you can fortify yourself before going out to go to work. Stuff like that. But being conscious of it, just, being conscious, it ain't just that one thing of like, conscious and I'm talking all this and all that and all that vibe stuff. No, being conscious of what you need to do to protect yourself. You know what I'm saying? Learning about these type of things. You know what I mean? Like stuff that, and it's a lot of natural ways and a lot of natural things that you could do to fortify yourself. Which is basic. Most of us learned this when we were children, like praying, just straight up talking with the Most High God. You know what I mean? Developing a relationship, with the Most High Creator, Allah. You know what I mean? That's a big time protection and a deterrent for bad energy. And if you do that, a lot of stuff that's sent your way will not, it won't be able to, it'll touch you, but it won't be able to take you down. Because a lot of stuff gets shot at you and you can feel it, it, especially like, me coming on these lives, saying certain things and even having debates with people in my circles, my people, where I'm at. And you can, the more you raise your consciousness, the more sensitive you become too. You become sensitive. You can start feeling that. You feel that energy. You feel it. But so what? Keep, you know what I mean? Fortify yourself, and it'll start, and it'll bounce off. You'll start knowing how to bring it down to the level where it's just, it ain't about nothing. But that's really what time it is, you know what I mean, in the world today. It's not, we in a different dimension of things. We actually in a different time zone too. We're in a new epoch of time. This is why people are changing. People are getting away from the old ways. You know what I mean? People getting away from, well, in the old ways. Well, the old ways of doing things. You know, all of that. So you know, you see it. If you don't see it, you know, you need to open your eyes so you can see. People ain't, you know what I mean? Everybody not going towards like the so-called evil stuff, you know. But at the same time, you know, to each his own. With all the different, you know, different things that people could be into. But you know, I'm still traditional on a lot of notes. You know, I'm traditional. Just, you know, men and women, men being with women, women being with men, stuff like that. You know, very, very basic. I'm still very basic, but I do understand that everybody don't get tested the same way in this reality. This is why the Most High created, you know, he give all of us different trials and tribulations that they gotta go through. And even sometimes some of the stuff that people desire, they've been made to desire in this life, was put on them for them to be tested with. Some people like to drink alcohol and they love it. I know other people that love Coke. You know, they're all multiple different things. Even people having different kinds of sexual desires and habits. You know what I mean? All of these things was really put on the people to test them with it. And everybody ain't the same. But, you know, getting into, like I said, like true spirituality and knowing yourself and knowing what you truly are, and being you know, your soul is who you truly are. And then really your soul is not necessarily male or female. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of different stuff. You can go in different kind of philosophies and different kind of belief systems, and they talk about reincarnation and people incarnating in different lives as different gender. I mean, one might live a life as a woman and then come back in your next incarnation you be a man. But who you truly are is your soul. But when you come into this body, you know, and whenever you appear again, then you have to you experiencing life through that body. And I remember I said before, like I've talked about cats. I use the cats as an example because, you know, cats are like supposed to be some high level spiritual beings. Cats. And they got a lot of lives, right? They got 9 lives. They got a certain kind of vision. They can see things that everybody else can't see. Cats actually, I learned that they got reptilian eyes. You know, the iris of the cat eyes is a slender slither like a snake. It ain't like lions and all that. They got different kind of eyes. But cats, like house cats, they actually got reptilian eyes. But getting back to what I was trying to make. But cats being these, I always think about them because they high, spiritually high beings, right? But let's say this highly spiritual being living in this cat body, it does cat things. You know, it does cat shit, right? Okay, it can't help it. It chases mice. It likes to play a certain way. Its mind is just set up a certain way. They like to hunt naturally. You know, that's just something in them. But they do cat stuff. The same way with the people. Men in the man suit, in the man body, woman in the woman, you know, certain things that we embody being inside of these bodies in our lives. It's just what it is. So I don't get mad at a cat for being a cat. The same way I don't get mad with a woman for being a woman. And likewise, men, all of us in general do certain things. We like certain things, etc. But on a higher note and all of that, a high level being is going to strive to get control of all of that. To be able to manage what they feeling as whatever they are, and then also understanding there are highly spiritual aspects to what we do in this life. And how we deal with other people, it plays a big part in it. That's why you gotta respect yourself first. And respect others. But a lot of people who don't have no respect for themselves, it's difficult for them to respect other people. That's just how it is. That's why, I used to advise my children, about respecting themselves first. When you respect yourself, it always filters over and goes over into how you treat others. You'll see people doing bad things or thinking bad things about others, and if you really dig deep enough, you'll see that these people don't even have no respect for themselves. You'll find them doing some of the lowest stuff to their own self. But we want to avoid that kind of that kind of mindset and that kind of behavior. And on the way to all of that, it's kind of like what we doing. A lot of us is doing on a daily basis. You know what I mean? Me, because it helps me to talking about certain things. It helps me at the same time. I am being urged to talk, but from my higher self. But it helps me too, especially what's going on in my life right now. Because most of us is getting pushed towards our true calling. You know what I mean? We find in our true place on this earth, and not our place, but our true purpose. And I know that speaking in a certain way I know it's my purpose. And a lot of times the Most High God, Allah will move you a certain way to get you to do what you're supposed to be doing. And you also put barriers or put blocks up of you doing certain things if it don't have nothing to do with what He has, the Most High Creator wants for you. If you don't want if you're doing things off script, He's going to put stuff in your way and put stuff, in your circumstances to make you go the way He wants you to go. This is why you got to be connected to your higher self so that you can start seeing that if you are doing things and you still keep getting the same result, or it's just not working out for you because of whatever, then you may be on the wrong path, wrong life path. You know what I'm saying? But if we don't talk about these things, or we ain't in the air, like we ain't in it, we just worrying about all the other bull crap that's going on in the world, as opposed to developing that connection with the Most High Creator, Allah, you'll remain lost for a little bit more time. But now I've been favored. But I've been tested in a lot of different ways, and I've learned. It took me a long time too. It took me a long time to learn about certain things, but I finally got it. You know what I'm saying? But that's why another reason why I shoot some of the stuff that I done made it through. It's kind of unbelievable. I'll talk about some things in the future, but these talks right now just daily motivation. Motivate myself and motivate, anybody that want to listen. You know what I mean? Because, I'm actually a boxing coach. And I've developed a few fighters, over the years. He won some championships. We've done some good things in boxing. And I learned through trial and error that you can't force nothing when you're developing an athlete. It's the same way with developing as a spiritual being. I didn't develop myself overnight. So if I advise people to take a certain course of action in developing themselves, it's not going to happen overnight. So you got to be patient with yourself and you got to be patient with people. It's really not a sprint. That's why I know that everything that I did, was into in life, it's helping me now. Because I used to always say, I used to be like, with the boxing life, it's not a sprint. It's a marathon. So, I kind of like already live like that. I already understand the wisdom behind having to work every day to accomplish a goal that may be far down the road. But I know I got to work at it and I got to cultivate, the mind, body, and spirit that you need to win a competition. And we out here fighting with evil energies. We fighting with old ways and temptations and stuff like that. So we have to develop the mind, the body, and the spirit every day. It's an everyday thing. It's not something you can take a day off from. You know what I'm saying? And we get tricked up sometimes. We get tricked up by. Sometimes you have a good day. You know what I mean? You might have a good day or whatever, and then you let your guard down, and then you make mistakes. But I'm coach. Coach say, don't let your guard down. You stay sharp regardless. Stay sharp on the good and the bad days. You know what I mean? And mix with people that's on what you on. Don't mix with people that ain't about nothing. Because if you mix with people that ain't about nothing, they gonna lead you astray. Bottom line. So that's just word for the wise ones. You know what I mean? Hopefully I'll probably dial in later on. And hopefully I see y'all later. I appreciate whoever watching. I see somebody up there watching. I appreciate y'all, and I'll dial back in. Hopefully I see y'all soon. Peace.